Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NFL Thoughts. I thought I was cool trying to do that. Anyway, so we are back with our NFL predictions review. And might I say, I did a pretty found job this week. Y'all know I'm not the best when it comes to predictions, for NFL games, at least this year. But yeah, we have not done very well. We have sucked. But nonetheless, we did do well this week. There was one that I wish I would have gotten right that would have made me go 11-3, but they couldn't, hold it down. So, nonetheless, let's get to our first prediction. Titans versus the Packers. Okay, so overall, this Thursday night football game actually wasn't too bad. For a while, this was actually a pretty interesting game. At one point, the Packers scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to pull themselves within 3 points. And then the Titans, answered back with another touchdown. And yeah, I mean, the game was interesting a little bit, in that game. So for a Thursday night football game, not too bad. Just to be quite honest with you, not too bad. Nonetheless, basically, I can't even really blame this on the Packers' offense overall because the Packers' defense made Ryan Tannehill look like Joe Montana out there. He was just picking apart their defense, bit by bit by bit by bit. And they, for some reason, they just couldn't stop Ryan Tannehill from doing what he was doing. And then on offense, I don't think that the play calling was bad. I don't think that the receivers did a bad job. I'll be quite honest with you. I have to blame Aaron Rodgers for this one because there were plenty of sequences in that game when they were down 27-17 and they had a chance to score a touchdown to pull within a field goal again, or at least kick a field goal to pull within a touchdown, and all 4 times the Packers had to punt or they went for it and had a turnover on downs. But nonetheless, Aaron Rodgers missed some untimely throws. We're talking stuff like we're talking third downs where he's missing open receivers. And he's doing it when you least expect it. This is Aaron Rodgers at his best. And he did not come through, which is a obvious, eye-opener for the eye to see for any, football fan. But nonetheless, Packers lost, and I got that one incorrect. Bears versus the Falcons. Oh man, boy, I tell you what. For any of you football fans like me who are always looking for an entertaining game to watch and a game to talk about for the rest of the week, watch any game that the Chicago Bears play in, because those games have been entertaining as heck thus far since November started. Actually, it really started with the game against the New England Patriots on Monday night in a late October game. But yeah, they have been very entertaining over the past month or so. The Chicago Bears have been playing in some entertaining games. They haven't been winning them, but they've been very entertaining because their offense keeps you on the edge of your seat. But yeah, and Justin Fields keeps you on the edge of your seat. Sadly, apparently Justin Fields might have separated his shoulder during that his left shoulder during the middle of that game-winning drive attempt that he was trying to make. Yeah, so he separated his shoulder on the play. He possibly might have separated his shoulder. I haven't gotten any word from it quite yet, but I did overhear from my father. So, nonetheless, yeah, he might have injured his shoulder on that play. And, well, that's basically what happened. But, nonetheless, hey, he's been doing well, though. Hopefully that shoulder doesn't affect him. Okay, it's obviously probably going to affect him. But, it's on his left side. So maybe it won't be as big of an issue. Alright, at least it's not his throwing shoulder. Otherwise, he's out for a while. But nonetheless, yeah, but that was a good game. The Bears drawed first blood, and it was just a back and forth game for the most part. It wasn't all that high scoring, but it was definitely an entertaining game that did go back and forth between the two teams. But as I've been talking about, the Falcons play a whole lot better when they're at home. Just last week they lost to the Chargers by a field goal. This week they won by a field goal. Both of them being played at home. So I got that one correct. Eagles versus Colts. Colts, why? Why do you have to disappoint me? Why do you have to break my heart? I was really looking forward to being able to say, how about those Eagles? How about those Eagles, huh? But y'all fumbled the bag. Y'all fumbled the bag. And I don't understand it. Why did you fumble the bag? Please tell me, why did you fumble the bag? You were up 13-3. And there were so many times where your offense could have, made a backbreaker on the Eagles and made it 20-3, but they couldn't do anything. I mean, Jonathan Taylor he ran the ball well at the start of the game, and then the Eagles kind of somewhat made some adjustments near the end. Jonathan Taylor definitely was not running the ball as effectively, at the end of the game, as he was at the beginning. But nonetheless, clearly run defense is still a bit of a problem for the Eagles, but they somewhat adjusted to it. Jonathan Gannon somewhat adjusted to it in that second half against Jonathan Taylor. But nonetheless, Eagles won. They barely, slipped away for a victory. But I still think y'all are trash, though. Alright, or not trash, but you're definitely overrated. You call yourself the best team in the NFL, but you're not. Okay? You're not the best team in the NFL. A best team in the NFL does not lose to the Washington Commanders and then turn around and almost lost to the Indianapolis Colts. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Stay tuned for my prediction video tomorrow especially that Eagles-Packers game. I'm going to talk about that. But yeah, unfortunately, Colts broke my heart. All right, they couldn't beat the Eagles, and I really thought I was about to go 2-0 for the second week in a row as far as, predicting somebody to upset the Eagles. Man, I was correct though when I said that the Colts defense is very underrated. Y'all need to stop sleeping on them. And I said that they were going to make that game frustrating for Jalen Hurts, and he was frustrated. I know it's hard to believe, but Jalen Hurts, believe it or not, was frustrated for most of that game. But then unfortunately, they managed to find themselves a little bit, in that fourth quarter, and managed to pull away with the victory. But anyway, so I got that one wrong. I also got the Jets-Patriots one wrong. I thought Zach Wilson was finally going to change. I thought he was finally going to start playing like a winner and start playing like a quarterback and take a game manager role. But he did not do it. Now, I don't believe he threw any interceptions, but he also did not play well. He completed, I believe, 6 of 22 for 77 pass yards and no touchdowns. And that's including a pass that he threw deep down the field, a pass that he threw, down the field for like a 20-yard completion. And yeah, so he got like 20 yards out of one completion that he got early in that game. The Jets had 2 yards of total offense in the entire second half, and they finished with, only 3 points. And it was probably the craziest 10-3 game you're ever going to see, because that game was a sleeper. All right, like almost the entire game. And then Marcus Jones of the Patriots ran back that punt return for a touchdown, and the Patriots win. I mean, crazy ending. So, yeah. Unfortunately, I got the Patriots one wrong. But don't believe me, we will bounce back. Despite starting off 1-3, we will bounce back. Commanders versus the Texans. Commanders won this game. The Texans had no chance. They're just not the better football team. And that's all I got to say. Rams versus the Saints. Yeah, apparently Matthew Stafford was in concussion protocol again. I just want to point that out. Matthew Stafford apparently got into concussion protocol again. So, yeah. And the Rams, believe it or not, they looked promising in this game. But fortunately, the Saints, pulled away in the end. They had a 10-point lead, and then the Rams kicked a garbage time field goal and ended up losing 27-20. So, yeah, I got that one right. Browns versus the Bills. This game was 10-6 at one point late in the first half, and I'm thinking to myself, I swear, Bills, if y'all lose this game, because the Browns were up 10-6 near the end of the first half, and I'm like, Bills, if y'all lose this game, if y'all lose this freaking game, they have just not played very well. I'll be quite honest with you. Right now, the Kansas City Chiefs are playing like the best team in the NFL right now. And I'm not going to be biased and say my own team. However, trust me, we're not that far off from the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. But, yeah, so Bills still managed to win 31-23, but I don't know. They've just not played like the best team in the NFL. It's like that Jets loss really screwed them up. It really messed them up, man. Like, they've not really been able to do anything right since then. Panthers versus the Ravens. I'm not gonna lie, this game was even more boring than the Patriots Jets game, just because of the fact that it didn't have a crazy ending, and it was a low scoring game as well. So Lamar Jackson did not play all that good. He didn't even play all that good in the running department. This game had a lot to do with just, well, who wants to lose this game the least is basically what this game came down to. And the Ravens were that team. Lions versus the Giants. Bro, I know some people that I may or may not have talked to, obviously, and whatever, that thought, why are you saying that the Lions are going to beat the Giants? The Lions are terrible, and the Giants aren't going to be able to win. Well, what did I say? Daniel Jones is just not going to be able to get this Giants offense to, score a bunch of points, which is what they're going to have to do, which is what they're not used to doing. They're used to winning those ugly games, like 19-16 to the Panthers, 21-20 to the Titans, 20-12 to the Bears, 23-17 to the Jaguars. They're used to winning games like that. Not games where Daniel Jones and this Giants offense is going to have to go off. That's not what they're used to. So I knew the Lions were going to win. And I even knew that they were going to win the game as decisively as they did. So, yeah. Raiders versus Broncos. Man, this was one of those flip a coin type of games because both teams are trash. They are trash. But somebody has to win, and this was a coin flip. But I thought, you know what? I don't think the Raiders are going to sweep the Broncos this year. These two teams are really bad, but I think the Broncos will get a win in this series against the Raiders. But nope. Raiders won again. This time was more competitive, and this time the Raiders won in overtime thanks to the apparently nobody wanted to cover Devontae Adams. So that's all I got to say. Cowboys versus Vikings. Oh man, this was a demolition. I already went over this game obviously on Sunday, so I don't need to speak no further. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. Bengals versus the Steelers. This game was surprisingly a offensive shootout for a while. It was 17-17 at halftime. Kenny Pickett had completed he was doing really well in that first half. And then he kind of, cooled off in the second. He was hot in that first half, but then he cooled off in the second. But it was still a competitive game in that all the way in that fourth quarter when it was 27-23. But then the Bengals kind of basically, put the game away when Joe Burrow, threw a touchdown pass to Samaje Perine. And so with that, the Bengals kind of put the game away and they won 37-23. But this was an interesting game for the most part. I'm not going to lie. Bengals, Steelers, these AFC North matchups, period, give us some surprises that you don't see coming. Chiefs versus the Chargers. Can we all just take a moment to moment of silence? A moment of silence, man. Because we got to take a moment of silence right there. Because what a game that was on Sunday night. Was it not? Was that not heck of a football game. All right, I mean, dang, we knew that Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert might put on a show, but wow, that was pretty good. 30-27. It started off a little slow, but eventually both teams kind of picked it up offensively, and that game really turned into an offensive show. Basically, the Chiefs kicked the game off by kicking a field goal to have a 3-0 lead. Then Justin Herbert and the Chargers scored a quick 3-play touchdown after he threw a 50-yard bomb to Palmer for a touchdown. They took a 7-3 lead. Chiefs get the ball back, they drive, and they kick a field goal and make it 7-6. Then the Chargers get the ball back and they drive and they kick a field goal. So basically, it was both teams scored on each possession that they had in the first quarter, and it was 10-6. Second quarter, the Chiefs scored a touchdown to take a 13-10 lead. Chargers scored a touchdown to take a 17-13 lead. And then after the Chiefs could not score on their next drive, Chargers got the ball back and kicked a field goal at halftime. It was 20-13. And then the Chiefs kind of found themselves offensively and defensively. Second half, they got things going a little bit. And then after a stop by the defense, they drove down the field and Mahomes threw a touchdown pass to Travis Kelce, where, shades of last year when Travis Kelce had that touchdown that won the game in overtime. Yards after catch. He caught that ball and turned upfield and just made something happen. He went the distance. So, yeah, and then Chargers got the ball, and it was a little bit, both teams kind of had a punt after that, but then the Chargers got the ball with like 10 minutes to go. They were driving down the field, but then Keenan Allen fumbled, but Jerick McKinnon, trying to show some great sportsmanship, decided to give the ball back to the Chargers, and he fumbled it. Chargers get the ball back. The drive turned absolutely when Herbert threw a deep pass complete to Keenan Allen, down the sideline. And the Chargers would later throw a touchdown pass. Herbert would eventually throw a touchdown pass to Palmer to take a 27-23 lead. Then Mahomes did Mahomes things. With a minute and 46 seconds left, he drove the Chiefs down the field, and he would eventually end it by throwing a touchdown pass to Travis Kelce. And they then took a 30-27 lead. However, there was still time left on the clock. There's still time for Justin Herbert to do something pretty cool, pretty good. 31 seconds, you got all three of your timeouts. All you got to do is get in field goal range and kick a field goal, and oh my gosh, he throws an interception. And so the Chiefs, after getting 2 fourth-quarter takeaways, Mahomes would take a knee, and the Chiefs would come out of that game with a, great 30-27 victory. That was a great game. All right, I know I just basically went on a monologue explaining that entire game, but it was just that good. It was a pretty good game. Meanwhile, after just talking about how great of a game the Chiefs-Chargers game was, let's talk about that 49ers-Cardinals game. That was a demolition in Estadio Azteca. Wait, my fault. Oh my gosh. I'm going to edit that part out. So 49ers Cardinals Monday Night Football. This was a demolition in Estadio Azteca, home of Mexico. The 49ers dominated the Arizona Cardinals 38-10. And I'll be quite honest with you. Maybe Kyler Murray would have made a little bit of a difference. Maybe he would have made a little bit of a difference. But overall, I think the 49ers still win this game. I mean, Colt McCoy is not that bad of a quarterback substitution. Don't get me wrong, the Cardinals started the game off pretty well. You know, they took a 10-7 lead at the end of the first quarter. But then that's when things kind of got away from them. The 49ers would go on to score 31 unanswered. And, well, you know, they would pull away with a dominant 38-10 win. I'll be quite honest with you. I think that we might, challenge the 49ers the best. You know, we might challenge the 49ers the best out of everybody in the NFC. Because just think about it. They have a punishing running game, just like we do. They have a, at times, unblockable pass rush, just like we do. However, we're unblockable almost all the time, if not every time. And we both have great defenses, you know. So we might match the 49ers the best out of everybody in the NFC, in my opinion. You know, we both have great running games and we both have a great defense with a great pass rush. So, yeah, you know, so in my opinion, we match them the best. The Eagles, in my opinion, I don't think that you can trust their pass rush versus the 49ers as much as you can trust the Cowboys pass rush. We have a way better pass rush than the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles pass rush is okay. It's not bad, you know, but it's nowhere close to what our pass rush is. We got the best pass rush in the league. Better than the 49ers even. So, yeah, now, of course, the only difference is the 49ers, I think they can stop the run very well. Very well. Cowboys, okay, we did pretty well against the run on Sunday. Well, when we got them out of that running game because we started blowing them out. But yeah, for the most part, we did do not too bad against the run on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie. But the question is, can we keep that up though? We got the Giants on Thursday, and our goal on defense is not to sack number 8 times. Our goal is to hold Saquon Barkley and make sure he doesn't go off. Our goal is to make Daniel Jones beat us. Make him beat us with his arm. Because trust me, when them cows get home, they get home. So yeah, we can force them into that situation. We can definitely win that football game. But yeah, so there it is. You know, I went 10-4 in my predictions this week. And next up, week 12. Tomorrow's going to be a little different. I'm going to make 2 videos because obviously I got to make my week 12 prediction of the entire week. And then I got to make my prediction for the Cowboys game because we obviously got to play on Thursday. So, with that being said, that has been my time. Like, subscribe, and this is NFL Thoughts. Out.